Gage, let's do this. All right. Hi. Hello. My name is Gage. I am currently at a school called Penn High School. As of right now, I will teach you ways on how you can become a better student in school. So, like most students, like nowadays, you probably won't study much. It's because like you get bored. Studying is very important to oneself. By studying, you can help yourself like get good grades on tests or quizzes. Those grades can help you put yourself in a nice college where you can earn yourself a degree. Thus, you can start a life. Now, when you're now in high school, it's very different than middle school because you get more homework and more tests, and those tests will become harder. But the only way they become harder is if you do not study. So, in order for you to study, it's quite simple. If you want to study at home, all you have to do is this: go to a room that's very quiet. There's nothing that can distract you. Take out your phone, turn the phone off. Because by doing that, it means like no one can distract you when you're studying, and thus you won't be distracted. That's how most students can become distracted. They would always go on their phones and talk to their friends instead of studying. The second step for you to study is you want to bring like any homework that you might have for an old quiz or test you have. Because if you take that quiz or test, you can review over something that you still don't understand. Because we all know that at the end of the year, there's always one final test, like a final exam that reflects everything through the whole year. So when you're studying that test, you always want to look through the problems that you missed. And if you see the same problem that you missed multiple times on different quizzes or tests, that means you don't understand what to do. So when you write down what kind of problem it is, you can ask a parent, or you can turn your phone back on it and ask a friend, or simple, you could just email your teacher and you can ask them, "Can you help me with this problem?" And I guarantee it that mostly everyone that you call or send an email to will answer you. They will say yes. Now, when you're studying this problem, you want to write down you want to write down different problems of it. So that way, when you see this problem on the test, and if it's not the same one you studied, then that's why you would want to write a multiple problem. Because if you write just one problem and study for like an hour, you won't understand anything at all because you're just studying that one problem. That's why you want to create your own little quiz. By creating your own little quiz, you can like help yourself understand what to do when that test is up. Now, if you want to, now let's see. Let's see. Okay, so let's say like let's say you have like two separate days in school. Like one day would be like a black day or a gold day. Now, when it's a black day, you might have Spanish, like I do. And let's say, like every other day, you you would gain more knowledge. That knowledge can help you be ready for the quiz that will come up. So, like when you're learning something new, you always want to write that down in a little notebook. By writing that down, you can help remind yourself that, hey, this is a word I learned today. That I need to know what this word means by the quiz or test. What I would usually do is I would get out that notebook and I would write down the word in Spanish 10 times, then I'll write it and what it means in English. So that way your mind can understand, no, not understand, but remember what that word is in Spanish, and and like you can remember how to write that word in Spanish. And usually, most teachers might give you a sheet of paper with a bunch of and they would tell you to go on a page in your Spanish book. When you go to that page, they want you to write down all those Spanish words and what they mean. By doing that, you have yourself like your own study guide. So that way, you can use that sheet of paper or study guide, as I would call it, and you can review what those words mean. Now, when you're reviewing, you sometimes you might want to do it like at the last 30 minutes before you usually go to bed. Every night for like 30 minutes or 10 minutes. So that way, when the test or quiz comes up, your mind will already know what the words mean because you spent 30 minutes every night before you go to bed studying. The reason why you remember all that is because you would write those words down and you would say them out loud. By saying that, your mind remembers everything. It can remember how to write that word, or how to read that word in Spanish, or how to understand that sentence in Spanish and what the answer is. Now, in school, most people can have like a D or an F in like a certain class, in like a few classes or like one class, but that's okay because most people would always have like a D or an F, and like during the freshman year, because freshman year is when like you actually need to wake up. You need to understand that this is high school. This is when you have to focus in school. Now, when you have like a D in like a class, don't panic because you can simply get that back up. All you have to do is just follow my study note. Like not study notes, but all you have to do is just study by using the ways I told you what to do. When you're studying by using these ways, you can help yourself get that D up to a C, B, or an A. And you can help yourself prevent it from going back down to a D or an F. And sometimes when you fail a test or quiz, most teachers will give you at least 2 weeks to study to retake that test. Now, when you retake that test, they may change things. They may put in a few new sentences, or they may put in a few new words that you don't understand yet. So it's always very important to ask that teacher, like when it's the retake, and whether or not they're going to add a few new words on it, because if they add new words to the retake, your mind will not understand what that word means. So it's always a good thing to ask your teacher what that word means, and if they tell you this new word and they don't tell you what it means in English, then that means that they want you to find it yourself and study it. So in reality, you always want to make sure you have like a study day or a time of the day when you study. Now, study dates are dates where you go with your friends and you help each other study. So when you watch this video, remember to always help yourself by studying, and thus you can help yourself become a better student in school and in college or at home. Use these ways, for they will help you.